Hello there. Hello, Royal Family. West Side with it. It's your girl Lay of naturalLay, spiritually known as La Negra. Thank you so much for being here today, this wonderful, lovely West Side Saturday. It is 1:44 p.m. where I am. It's 4:44 on the East Coast. Ashe. And wherever else you are, whatever time it is for you, happy and great day. Before I jump into all of this, please allow me to greet you, all of you lovely gods and goddesses tuning in now and who will be tuning in later. I'd like to greet us all with a divine prayer to set the tone. Anabukoa, Gejalat Yemenka, Tatir Tizrura, Kabelranat, Amsha, Sagvenu, Taharanu Nora, Nagibor, Dorshe Gedeka, Kavavat Shamram, Warkuntarum, Rakamet, Zikateka, Tamid Kamlem, Chasen Kadosh, Brav Tufka, Nahelarateka, Yakid Lamchapane, Zokre, Kadushateka, Shavatanu Kabel, Ushman, Tazakatanu, Yode Ta'alamat, Brukshem Kavod Malkuto, Lalambae. Ashe. Thank you. So this video is for sure completely different. This is the first ever West Side Saturday story video. I believe in some videos prior to, I've mentioned how I've been really wanting to share some stories, just share more insight, just share, because you never know what's going to click and what's going to resonate with someone to just kind of spark that next idea or to get that momentum going. So, yes, happy first ever West Side Saturday story. It's story time. So before we jump into story time, that just gave me an idea. I didn't know what to call this tea. It might be called storytime tea. But I do have in our, what used to be decked out Stay Magical Always cup, now just says stay. I like that. Just chill. I brewed some delicious tea, and we have our beautiful clear quartz crystal golden plated spoon. So this will aid me throughout the duration of this video in case a girl gets thirsty and needs some recollection and needs to calm down. I believe the herbs brewed are chamomile, rose petals, lavender, thyme. I feel like there's a fifth, but I'm not too sure right now. I can't recall. But yeah, definitely need some mugwort. I know mugwort helps tremendously with dream recall, lucid dreaming, all that greatness. But for now, we're working with what we got with. Okay? Okay. So, not to make this long, even though it is going to be long because I got some notes. But first and foremost, we want to pay, and I would love to pay respect and homage and just send up the infinite love vibrations to our dearly fallen soldier and beloved brother, Nipsey Hussle, AKA, even though that it was his AKA, to the world he was known as Nipsey, but to family he was known as Hermias Ashekdon. So we want to just send out complete continued love and upliftment for his family and those who are very, very deeply connected, which is where this all comes from. So I've been having this on my heart for some time now. And now that we're in the shadow phase of the retrograde and spring is here, 2020 is here, a lot of new is here, right? It's still urging us to reflect and recall on the old. So let's hold on to the concept of okay? But with the title, Decoding Synchronicities and Signs, not only are we going to be decoding synchronicities and signs, but it's what my personal synchronicities and signs are for me, and how it is that I kind of piece things together. So that way you can start to develop how to piece together what signs you see. So that way you can get better footing and understanding of what the hell is going on and get, better in tune and more in tune with your higher self and your ancestors and celestial team. So this is a personal story. These are actually a series of personal stories that I would love to share with y'all. So again, thank you for being here. This is a total first. I've never done anything like this before, but I have to transmute this pain or it will literally kill me. So I implore and urge everyone to transmute their pain, and hopefully in this demonstration, um, you know, you too can be inspired to do the same thing and take action. So this literally came to me today. I've had bits and pieces of these thoughts for some time, especially the day of and after Brother Nipsey's memorial. But today it literally just all clicked. And it took me about 16 minutes to write these notes. And then about 20 minutes later, I got another download. So where to start? I didn't do that. I would usually have had the definitions up, but in a nutshell, decoding, here we go. We're going to decode this entire sentence. Decoding is to synthesize and break down information into smaller bits of information that you can digest, process, and go out to do your best. That's a word. Okay. So decoding is just, let's say you get a pizza or a pie and you cut it up. We are cutting up, we are dissecting information. Okay. Decoding. Synchronicities. Synchronicity, when something happens at the same time, not at the same time, but in alignment, so to say. I would be very surprised if alignment is not a synonym. So let's go ahead and look up the definition. Go to trusty dusty dictionary.com. We'll look up synchronicity. Ooh, while we're at it, please make sure you let me know who you are, where you're from, what you're doing, and how you're feeling right now. I am Malaysia, also known as Lay or Luna. Who you are, where you from? I'm from the La. You already know. What you doing? I'm talking to y'all, making this video. How you feeling? I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling creative and inspired. So I answered. Now you go. While I look this up, please. Synchronicity. Let's just go to Google. Let's open up another tab. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Here we go. So synchronicity, the definition says, the simultaneous occurrence of events which appear significantly related but have no discernible causal connection. Another term for synchrony. Meaningful coincidences. Here we go. Yes. They appear to occur with no causal relationship, but they are meaningfully related. So, synchronicity. Signs. We receive a lot of signs from our angels, our ancestors, and our celestial team. So signs is also can be equated to symbolism, actually. Like we can replace signs with symbolism. I may or may not change the title based off that. But images that speak to you, that call to you, that you see often. Like there's no coincidence that you might see butterflies all the time, or every time you have this sort of feeling, the clouds roll by. Signs. Okay. So we decoded the title. I hope you get the gist of what this video is going to be now. 9 minutes and 41 seconds later. But in hindsight, I believe that I was not capable of making this video beforehand because of how emotional I was. And even though I still may be emotional and may or may not drop a tear or two, Okay. I have a better understanding of what the hell has been going on in my life, and I'd like to share it. So, or share bits and pieces. So, let's go ahead and sip some tea on that. It's not too hot. You gotta do that sip test. It's so yummy. And I didn't sweeten it because my moon cycle is gonna start, and I know that sweets worsen my cramps. So to be smart, we did not do that. So this is, as coffee would be black, my tea is raw and unsugared and unsweetened. So, Ashe. See me. Okay. So I think I would like to start by recalling the first event within this series of events of synchronicity, which let's not even do that. Let's give some background story. And I apologize for this kind of being like a ramble slash rant. Again, this is new. I'm trying something new here, and I have to get this out. I really do. So, a lot of the work, personal work that I've been doing for self, has been revolving around, don't say healing, we're all healing, but specifically healing in in an all total chakra way to get myself in alignment with myself. But mostly what has been like the number one charting devastating thing of my life is now that there's a term that I know that there's a term for it. I've been dealing with this love lost or lost love kind of complex. And this particular individual, we no longer, we haven't spoken in some time, but as of recently, they have been coming around more in spiritual ways, such as appearing in my dreams, um, talks about twin flames and karmics and soul partners and all that greatness. So this particular individual has been floating around, even though they've been floating around, and I've been able to handle it because they are a bigger personality now. Um, Recently, it's just been overwhelming, and I haven't been understanding why until recently. So, with that being said, I'm trying to make this a story, y'all. I'm trying to just bear with your girl, bear with your girl. With that being said, as we know, with magic, you get exactly what you ask for. And it's very crucial to be specific and detailed as possible, within certain parameters. But it's important to, as they say, be careful what you wish for because you're going to get it. Trust me. Live and walk a testimony to that. Okay. But in recalling, so in retrograde, so what is okay? So the retrograde in retrospect, the retrograde means that the planets appear to be, if not, please correct me if I'm wrong. The planets or the moon appears to be revolving backwards. So revolve, revolution, rethink, reflect. We're dealing with a time of remembrance, even. So in order to spring forward, you have to fall back. Ooh, I like this. I mean, this is another download in real time. In order to spring forward, you have to fall back. So what does that mean? In order to be able to have all this great and da 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 da, you have to. Okay, what did I learn from this? What did I learn from that? Right? You need to take that time to reflect, to sit, to chill, to decipher, and just ponder on what it is that you've done thus far. See and assess what works, what doesn't work, and then proceed to the root, right? So, in recalling the fact that in not knowing that I had this lost love complex, this individual that I'm speaking of is a person who was in my life for a very significant amount of time during a very imperative time of my life. And I always thought that they were the one, right? And then as you get older, you think you're going to get married. And then as you grow into your spirituality, you learn these terms like twin flames, karmics, fake twin flames, all these things, right? So upon hearing the term twin flames, I slapped that title on this individual. Now, whether or not this title is right is neither here nor there, because that is actually still up to question. But I don't know. It could be 50-50, only because of what the rest of the story is going to say next. But people are here on this planet for reasons, right? We are here to do a certain job. We're sent down here, and we came and we chose to come here for a reason, to do some work. And before we came here, we've made contracts. So people that seemingly test you, don't like you, all these other aspects, they're here to test you, to be your best self. And what was so interesting earlier was, even before this download came, the sheet, which is a hot mess. But even before that download came, I thought, that is so weird. Like, why would we make a contract with da 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 da? And immediately after, I thought, because we knew we could handle it. We knew we could handle it because we already have. Just think about it. Think about all the shit you've been through. You've been through worse. Think about the situation you in now. You've been through worse. So literally, it's like, different. Excuse my French, but that's just what that's the thought that came earlier, was, and which was so fascinating to me, was we chose those contracts because we knew we could handle it. The God in you, your highest self, creation, knew you could handle it. So that's why. Literally, that's why you can't say why me in a why not somebody else. It's me, because it has to be. Because how did diamonds form? Under pressure, baby. So, little rant. I'm trying to stay on notes here. But long story short, this individual was pivotal in my life, and just the way things went, we no longer speak, but it's very deep, dark history, and I'm not sure I'm ready to go that detailed yet. But needless to say, I thought it was a lost love. And in thinking that, I compared every other man I ever got with to this individual. And it's like, what do you think that does? It, even though they didn't know, it's like I never found satisfaction. I was never happy. I was never, you know, in what I thought was the ideal situation, because I always romanticized that first relationship, and relationship is a stretch. It was a cosmic ship, whatever we want to call it. There was no official title ever, but that energy and that exchange was there. So, needless to say, this person has been coming up in ways unimaginable, and my ass has been tested upon tested upon tested, and that's what I discovered that all of these were, and that's what life is. It's a big fucking test. It's a test. It's a test. And we already have the cheat codes and the answers because they lie within us. They lie within us. We just have to learn to tap in. So I'm trying to type in later today. So I would love to get through this, but be as detailed as I can. But starting with the first event. So So like I said, this person is in the limelight now, but I've always, even before they took me around to these high level and special places, I always aligned myself with that. Like I always knew, I just always felt that I was meant for the grandest of things in life. And so, in being with this person, it was interesting to get that like insight, like how do they get in, so to say. So throughout college and even like all of my other, prior and post interactions with individuals, it was, like me trying to see how much like pull and reach I had, right? Basically, long story short, I was doing things just like this person was, from an egotistical ass way. I literally became the exact person I no longer like. And it's interesting. And there are people who come in your life who are literally mirror images of yourself. And you got to know what to do with that. And at first I didn't know what to do, but now I'm like, okay, bet. Like, it's a game. I'm seeing this as a game. Let me try to get through this. Okay, so high level events, celebs, and all that greatness is nothing new. So this year I had the opportunity to attend because I attended last year, I attended the 49th annual NAACP Image Awards. And so this year, since I went last year, I think that helped my qualifications to get in this year. So that happened, right? And so this story is really like, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. So I knew that week I was going. Like I already said I was gonna go. Because prior to this, I have it in a wrong order now. Because prior to this, I've been having dreams of seeing this individual at a high level event. So I thought that this was going to be that event. And again, not knowing that I had this lost love complex, in hindsight, I was going to these places to see him, I suppose. And or hoping I'd run into him, because I was basing this off of my dreams. So it's like, yes, that was true, but not in that exact way. So let me get there. So I knew that week I was going to go. Didn't have any or little to no funds that week. Got contracted randomly, and she's going to come back up later in the story. Got contracted randomly, independently contracted randomly for this upcoming retreat that I've kind of been hinting at, that I will soon share the details for. I do know it's in June in LA. So yes. But watch out. I'm losing my train of thought. That's where the tea comes in. Yes. Going to these places, apparently, in hindsight, without me knowing, that's what hindsight is, to see this individual. But I just saw it as me belonging in these spaces, which is true, which is the total truth. So here's where all the funnies begin. Or it's been. So just to wrap up the dreams, because I want to like cross things off on this paper so I can stop looking at it. Going back to the dreams, this individual has been popping up in my dreams recently. They did like when we were more so like in the same realm, and then they subsided, and then out of the damn blue came back. And so I say out of the blue, but it really wasn't out of the blue. Let's blame candle magic because I got what I asked for. But yes, last month was their birthday month, or the celebration of life month, and they came to me, and I decoded the series of dreams in my voice notes, and I'm trying to figure out what to do project wise with that. But they came to me, I really believe, the night before their birthday. I can't remember what for. It's in the decodization, but they came to me the night before. They came to me a few days before. They came to me the day after, and then a few days after. And I'm just like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? So you know that what do you want, but on the low, you like, I hope they want something, right? That's still how this was with this person. Man, like healing is great because it just makes you see these things. But so here we go. Been coming to me in my dreams repetitively. Last month was their birth month, and now we're in spring. Got invited to the NAACP Image Awards. Was like, bet I'm going. In hindsight, thinking this is where I got tapped on the shoulder. I got tapped on the shoulder by this person in a dream, or like pulled to the side. So this same week that I got and received the invitation, it was a last minute invitation too. This same week was the same week that I didn't have my altar up. I was in the process of like redecorating. I was washing the cloth and I was like adding plant, like just completely redecorating and redoing my altar because I was ultimately trying to, I was making a prosperity altar. We'll talk about that another time. But I was redoing my altar, but for this week, energy just wouldn't allow me yet to like fix it up. Like I didn't really. I usually kind of get like a map. What is it called? A blueprint. I usually get like a blueprint of how to arrange things, and I didn't receive that week. So I was just like, so there were things on it, like the cloth. The fresh washed cloth was still folded up on the table. Like things were on the table, but it wasn't prepared and set up. That's what I'm getting at. So my altar wasn't set up. So even so, so yeah, this week I had my altar wasn't up. I had little to no funds, but I knew I was going to this event. Like where they do that at? I didn't have an outfit, so I had a gift card, and I went to Marshall's and I bought this outfit that I didn't even end up wearing because I had something already that I was saving for another event, but something told me last minute, like, this is what you should wear. So I was like, bet, I'm gonna wear what I got, and then I'll just save this outfit for another time. Even though in the Queen of Returns, I kept that outfit because it's super hella cute. But yeah, I went. I think this was the day before the event. So the day before, because I think it was a Saturday. So that Friday, went to Marshall's. I was gifted this wig. Gotta know, yes. He will wear wigs. Donate if you're trying to see some more styles. Okay. Yeah, was I received some abundance and some prosperity. I'm saying some good fortune came my way. And then again, I got contracted for an event, and they ended up sending their payment the day of the event. So mind you, I know I'm going somewhere, but don't know how I'm getting there, right? And what's so funny was literally the night before I gave up on trying to figure it out. So I let go and I let God. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to figure this out. It's going to work itself out. Because it was ludicrous. I was like, how you going to get somewhere and you ain't even got no money? You didn't set no, I arranged nothing. I think at best I looked up the train schedule. That was it. So that night I let go and let God. I slept. I woke up. Mama sent her payment, the deposit, and I was like, ashe. But there were some schematics in between there. I had to, devise the contract or print it out or sign it, whatever the hell. But I did all that before I left. I was like, bet. So I have some funds, right? Then I was driven to the train station, but the train. So here's like now we're getting to like we're still getting the gravy going. We're gonna get to the meat and potatoes. So some more gravy on this is we get to the train station and buy the ticket. The train is delayed 20 minutes, 20 or 30 minutes. It was 20 or 30 minutes. The train's delayed. So I'm just like, okay. Because I could have taken an earlier train, but I wasn't ready. So I took the last possible train because I had I did map this actually. Yeah. I mapped this out the night before. I said, so long as you leave, by this time, and I looked up the distance from LA Union to the event place, and it was like 10, 15, 20 minutes. So I was like, so I had kind of looked this up already. So yeah, we pre-planned. So yeah, there's some pre-planning going on here. Message wise, pre-plan or plan ahead so you can get some results. But yes, train was delayed, which was strike one. On the train, as we were getting closer, I set up the lift. So I had the lift come get me. The lift arrived literally as the train pulls in, right? So I'm like, I have to pee at this point. Sorry, I have to use the restroom. So I have to use the restroom because I really don't like using the train station, the little restrooms on the train, because they just resemble porta potties and it's so small and I just can't. So I don't like, but so I held it and I was just like, dang. So I'm texting her or I'm messaging her like, well, I'm trying to message her and she ends up calling me as I'm trying to like fly to the restroom. And she pretty much was trying to like find me. And I was like, hey, I'll just meet you in the front. I'm just letting you know that like I'm running to the restroom. I'm X amount of number in line. It's moving quick though, just wait for me. Because in the middle of doing all that, Lyft had this thing that said something like, oh, you're going to get a no-show fee or some shit. I was just like, I can't have no fees, okay? So your girl made it safely, booked it off the train to the restroom, to the lift. And what was so fascinating was what ended up being fascinating after the fact, because it wasn't fascinating in real time. Her name was Choice. This was the first sign, well, if not the second, because this was the week I didn't have an altar up, right? So I felt that this was an intuition test. How good is your intuition? So it got me up into the lift, right? I was like, okay, we're doing pretty good. Get to the lift. Her name is Choice. I had a choice to make, or I was in a series or undergoing a point of my life of needing to make a choice. Not only did I get invited to the NAACP Image Awards, I also had tickets for Sorority's spring something. So if you know Sorority, hey Majda, hi Sayeezy. But yeah, I had tickets for their event too. So I guess literally I should have maybe went to that. I don't know. But I had a choice to make. I was rolling with the Image Awards. Everything was Gucci. She also had to use the restroom. So she was flying. I wasn't mad at it. I was like, hey, as long as we get there, because I just wanted to be on time. I'm a timely person. So needless to say, you should know, going anywhere in Hollywood, the traffic's already crazy. Hollywood for a major event with celebs, mad crazy. The first time we pretty much kind of got to the block where the building was, it was blocked off. She wasn't able to make the right. I had so here's, I don't know, where are we at? Number 3, little sign number 3. Here's a sign. Sign number 3. I saw a lady, and I think it was a couple, whatever. It was a pair of folks who hopped out of the vehicle at the corner, and in the car kept going straight. Something told me right then, hop out, hop out, hop out. The Lyft lady was like, oh, I can't make it right. I'm going to go straight. Went straight. Straight was a bad idea. We had to go all the way around. Needless to say, I had a choice. I could have hopped out, but I never hopped out. And so now we're doing this drive around the block thing, which is not just driving around the block. It took probably an extra 8 to 10 minutes to get back to where we initially came from. And long story, that part short, I was like, you know what? I'm going to hop out when we get back around that corner. So we got to the corner and she tried to do it again. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just hop out. I was like, thank you so much. I'm going to find a restroom. gone. So I'm going off of Google Images. This is where like the intuition test comes in, because I was going off of Google Images. I've never been to this venue before. So the Google image, the building looked one color and it looked like a standalone building. The Fox Theater. Was it at the Fox Theater? Jado was somewhere. Hold on. Let's get some, what I named this? I was gonna call it Clarity, but I feel like that was basic. Storytime tea. Yes. Was it the Fox Theater? Right. Hi! Hey, Jolanda! Hi, JJ. I am having the first ever West Side Saturday story time. Please join us. I'm at the part where I pull up to the Image Awards, and I pretty much told my Lyft driver I was going to hop out for the second time because she tried to drive back around, and I knew at that point if she did that, I was going to be late, and I couldn't be late. So I hopped out, and like I said, so I'm trying to follow the Google Images. How you feeling? How you doing? Thank you so much for being here. You was there last night, and you're a real one. Found okay. All right. Yeah. So I'm going off the building image. I don't see the building, so I'm just like, shit. Which direction do I walk in? So I see this couple. It wasn't the initial couple. I saw this other couple, and all of us look suited and booted. So I'm like, I'm following the direction of the crowd that's suited and booted. So I saw this couple that was all glammed out, and I was like, I'm going to follow them. So like I said, I did this completely by myself. I had never done this ever. I've taken the train and stuff before by myself, but to take it to a major event has never happened. Or to just take public transportation to a major event has never happened. So this is it was like a fun, spontaneous like day. Like that shit was crazy. I'm good, girl. I'm taking down my braids, getting ready to wash my hair and put it in 2 strands with a hey. Just sounds like black girl magic. Would you have individuals in right now? That's a good winter style. Well, it's spring now. Winter to spring. That's good. Yeah, following the couple. We're all decked out. Everybody looking good in their nines. We all look, royal and regal. So this is where I was like, okay, intuition in full-fledged mode. So I watched them. I followed them up until a certain point. I walked with them to where I thought we got our wristbands. They had encountered 2 security people who pretty much told them, like, I don't know what they told them, but the guy, the woman of the couple was trying to talk to the security guard, but the security dude was like walking off. And so the guy was like, hey man, like a woman is trying to talk to you. Like you don't hear her. So they're having their own little thing. So I'm looking around, like, not looking around like that, but just trying to like observe the situation. Like, shit, what do I do next? Cause like that lead kind of stopped. So I see this light-skinned girl, and I don't mean to differentiate by tones, but I see another sister. And she had on a beautiful blue dress. And I was like, I'm going to follow her to see where she goes. So she walks. No, that's a lie. That was after. So after them, so I followed the couple. They got in. They was talking about whatever to whomever. And I'm looking, and then I see like the entranceway finally. So I see the entranceway, and I'm like, okay. So I see the 2 security guards. And I had said, what I needed to say. And she said, all she said was, what'd she say? Not Foot Locker. She just said that lids. She was just like, I was like, hi, da 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 da. She was like, lids. So I walked back to where the couple was, but nobody was there but the girl in the blue dress because the couple was still scuffling or whatever, talking to the security dude. Yes, they've been in for 4 months. Yeah. So, you got some crop, you got some new growth. Yes, grow. I love it. I'm gonna need a new protective style in a minute. So yeah. So I was sent to Lids. Saw little mama at Lids. She was walking back to where we just came from, or to where I just came from. So I was like, I'm gonna follow her. So I followed her, and she's talking to one of the ladies with, she got the official shit on. So I was like, all right, let's see what she's talking about. So she was like, hey, look, I came back. Do you still have a wristband? Da, 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 da. So in hindsight, I was like on time, but it had just turned late. I was on time, but it just turned late. So apparently she had made this previous contract though with this woman because she had gotten redressed or whatever, came back, and the woman was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you." So I was like, "Hey, like, would you happen to have like a second one? Like, I've been here, da 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 da." And I was just getting the runaround. Long story short, I didn't get in, and I did kind of feel defeated. Waited and waited. We were lingering, trying to hope that they would maybe let some extras in, but that didn't happen. So pretty much I had made it all the way there and it was a bust, quote unquote, right? So here's where a spiritual part happened. So I hadn't eaten all day, and after the group, you know how you make like friends in line and shit. So the line friends were like, we had separated. So I was just like, well, let me just walk them because I think the Fox Theater is in the mall or in a mall. So I was like, let me just walk because at this point, I had called for my ride to come get me because I thought I was going to take the public transport back. But since it was a bus, I was like, well, I don't have to do that. Let me just get picked up. So I had asked to be picked up, and that was going to take 2 hours. So I was just like, we're going to walk the mall. So in walking the mall, since I hadn't eaten all day, for the first time in literally like 2-3 years, I was like, let me just go get Starbucks because I didn't want to spend that much. And I just wasn't really trying to spend that much, but I was thirsty. Like I'm usually more thirsty than hungry. So I was like, you know what, let me just slide into Starbucks and get a refresher. Like I stuck to what I knew, but it was still, my body was just like, Starbucks, like, nigga, we ain't had this in ages. Which is terrible. Yeah, I shouldn't have walked in there. No way. But needless to say, I scarfed down a venti refresher, strawberry refresher with raspberry pumps in no time. Like that has never happened. Sips tea. By the way, this tea I blended lavender, rose petals, thyme, chamomile, and some other fifth herb I still can't remember. But yeah, so I'm walking around, went to Starbucks, sipping on a drink, finished the drink. And I was just like, I'm tired of walking because I'm in heels. So I go back to square one. I just go back to where I was, where the event was being held and where I was sitting outside of initially before I embarked on this walk. I know that rituals take place in the public eye, but I've never really thought, and I don't want to say be a part of one, but would feel one. But this was literally before Brother Nipsey's passing. I don't know what took place inside the venue, but outside the venue, I'm sitting, and there's like 2 girls talking to the left, and there's a girl and a guy talking to the right. And there's like this kind of like snack stand right here, and there's bless his heart, beautiful young Hispanic young man, young boy who's like kind of running the snack spot. Like I said, I downed a venti, hadn't eaten all day, downed a venti refresher in like 2 minutes. I bullshit you not. And for the first time in like too long. I don't know what happened inside, but outside, like, so there's this feel like, if you have had this feeling as a drunk person, your tummy kind of gets warm and like you can literally kind of feel it rise. It kind of feels like heartburn. You feel like this torch kind of like, you're like, oh shit. So, right. My favorite tea to make is my bay leaf rosemary cinnamon. Ooh, that sounds really magical. That sounds like some yumminess. Ooh, there's a second person here. Hello, say who you is, where you from, what you doing, how you feeling. I'm trying to get through story time. It's a long story time, but that's why we're gonna devote Saturdays to it. So happy West Side Saturday story. Okay, we're at the part where the venti's gone. I'm sitting and I'm waiting for my ride. I think this was literally like 10 minutes before my ride pulled up. We're sitting on this planter. It's a round planter, like those planters in the mall. I see a sign for the restroom, but I don't see a restroom. Like I couldn't see around the planter because I felt this heat rising. It felt like I was about to I don't say vomit. What's the other word for vomit? I had to throw up. I felt like I had to throw up, but it felt like that drunk feeling, like that hot, heated feeling, right? So I looked to the girls to the left. I was just like, because I'm at this point, I'm trying to like keep it contained. I'm trying to regurgitate. There we go. You're so funny. Thank you. Regurgitate. All right. So I'm trying to ask one of my line friend girls. I was like, do you know where the restroom is? And she's trying to look around. And at this point, the shit was here. It was like, you need to find something or somewhere. So I was like, I'll find it. I couldn't, I got up. And it wasn't like immediate, but it was maybe like 45 seconds in between because it didn't look that obvious. But I knew what had happened. But I played that shit off so well. It came up. I tried to swallow as much as I can. It's so gross. I'm sorry. I tried to swallow as much as I could because I'm in public view. All the security, them, panda, the snack dude, and so people are in this bitch, right? You're making this, girl. I'm glad you laughed. Laughing my pain. I gotta transmute this pain. So I was like, I got up. And it wasn't, thank God it wasn't chunky, but it was just like liquid, like just the venti came out. So I had juiced my way to the snack little homie. And literally all I could do was this. And then I was like, yeah, paper towels. And then bless his heart, he cleaned up all that. It was a situation, but luckily my dress was black and I don't say screen, but like, woo, these terms. ¿Cómo se dice? Not like a transparent mesh. Mesh. Man, I want my mesh dress. It was a see-through black mesh dress. So like you couldn't see that anything had, slid down it, but I knew it was moist. But anywho, the little homie helped out. And then since I had a different fucking point of view, I was able to see the restrooms, and it was in the same little nick as the elevators that was behind the planters that I couldn't see sitting down. So I was like, I bet. So I was just like, I'll be right back. I bet that was cute. Girl, it was the girl. So I was like, water. That shit was gross. Oh, all right. So, long story short, so this is part one of Decoding Synchronicities and Signs. This particular story, which pings for the rest. So I got there, like my intuition worked, because like I said, I'm from LA, but since this year makes 10 years that I've been living out of LA. Like I haven't been living in LA. So it's like I know, but I don't know the streets. And like I still have that like that kid complex when it comes to it. Like I've seen that before, but as a driver, I couldn't tell you like the street type. So this is where like all of my like how well do you know LA type shit came in, and it was flawless. Like I got there. So long story short, I chopped that up to be an intuition test. Like I said, my altar was not up that week. My Lyft driver's name was Choice. There was 2 events I could have went to, and all of that happened. So yeah, your girl threw up at the end of the awards. So I'm just like, damn, thank God I wasn't like, I mean, I guess if I was inside, I wouldn't have gotten a venti, which means I would have probably passed out. You see, it's like, I needed a beverage. All right, anywho. So then I think, I don't say like right after, I think like a few days later, like I put up I said I had the inspiration to set at my altar, and it looks so cute right now. So after that, even though it was but was not a bust, I just kept thinking like, damn, so what event am I supposed to be seeing this person at? Because again, this entire long ass spiel is revolved around this individual who I once loved, and I now know that there's a term for it. I had this lost love complex. So in my dreams, this individual was appearing to me, especially more so recently since their birth month was last month. They've been kind of in the realm more than usual. And I thought that that would be the event that I saw them at. And it wasn't. Perhaps though, and I think part of not even just aside from like public celeb rituals and all that greatness or not, but part of me also felt like they were in attendance. Like again, because we run in the same circles, so that's a caliber of event that he would have been at. So I felt that the regurgitation was a representation of that. Like that was the sign of like, yeah, he's here, but bitch, you don't need to be around him type. Isn't it amazing how life lessons come to us? Girl, yes. And now I'm about to blow everybody's, like, it blew my mind once this all clicked. So I just hope that this blows someone else's mind. But here we go. So, a few days later, I did a blockbuster ritual. So we dressed the blockbuster candle, performed the ritual. And I think within 48 hours of performing that, I also took a spiritual bath. It was the next day, excuse me. The next day, I took a spiritual bath, a salt bath, and I'm cultivating an activity or a workshop called How to Identify Your Triggers, and it deals with a mirror. So it's a mirror exercise, and I decided to test it on myself because, like, I'm really good at delegating shit for other people, but I was like, you need to do it for yourself. And I also like to test things for myself before I suggest and all that stuff. I was like, you know what? Let's test the workshop on yourself. It was intense. And, we did a lot of releasing. So in the concept of release, retrograde, there had to have been there needed to be like, I'm still thinking I'm supposed to be with this person and I keep calling upon, like we keep doing this, right? So something needed to be like, absolutely the fuck not. And that's what the blockbuster candle did. So to continue, I think it was as, during, or after, I cannot recall, but I received, let's just sip some tea really quick. Thank you for being here if you're still here. Yes. So, that tea should be cold by now. I talk too damn much. It is like on that lukewarm stage though. Like I should probably, I'm gonna say sip this a couple more times. You're too funny. Oh my God. Hi. I love you. Thank you for being here. I'm really kind of like almost done. Like, cause the next part is just gonna be like, but yeah. So blockbuster ritual, and it just said to everything I thought I knew, right? And in these processes and in these rituals, like I'm completely just letting it go because I just feel like I've been running around in all these circles and my head has just been like so frazzled for so long. So what I've been working on letting go with love and letting God. And I'm telling you, it works. So right after, during, or after the blockbuster ritual, I received a numerology reading. The numerology reading tied into not only I wanted to know more about myself, obviously, but it was funny how last month on March 2nd, so every month you want to set new goals. So every beginning of the month, I set new goals, or I'm working on setting new goals. So I need to work on my April goals today. So I'm going to get the story out because I'm so excited. Like, I feel like I got it. Oh, I'm enjoying hearing about your adventure. Oh, yeah. Thank you for being here. Okay. Keep enjoying because this shit gets crazy. It gets crazier. Excuse me. So before this shit gets cold, let's just. All right. Okay. So last month, I had set some goals. Studying under Coach Kayer, we do internal and external goals. And so upon reflecting, so I'm tying in like what happened with what I know it clicked with, just so that I can keep it together. And thinking today and pondering on all this, I got what I asked for. The first personal goal says what? Align astrologically with my twin flame /no via reading. I didn't say who the reading was going to be by. I just said align astrologically with my twin flame. Now, again, I'm not necessarily sure if this individual is a twin flame because there's some deep shit that goes on that makes it go like this. So, and I'm not there yet to explain that. But in general news, this person is very, we're tied. We have a soul tie. There's a connection, and unfortunately, there was a cord with this person. So that was another sign. I'm trying to keep along with the theme here of the title. That was the sign. I can manifest things. No, what was the sign, silly? I don't know. If he's a twin flame, then we're not supposed to be romantic right now. I don't fucking know. Are you a diviner? I pictured you being a diviner. I'm not too sure I really fully understand what that means. What does a diviner do? I guess I don't know what a diviner is. Diviner. Divination. I see. So I think we're gonna tie that into the story too. Yeah. There's been some shit going on. That's literally what this story is talking about. Like, my intuition, long story short, has been shooting through the roof. My third eye, my ajna, has been opening so beautifully. I'm reconnecting with the sun. Like, and that's literally what this person in my life, I get it now. This person is placed in my life, or was placed in my life, to show me exactly how divine I am, which is why I put on the crown today, to never forget who the fuck I am. Never let your crown fall. It could tilt, we could have a little T.I. Ray J shit popping, it could tilt, but that motherfucker ain't gonna never come off. And I had to remember that. But damn, that was like one of the main points that I wasn't trying to reveal yet. But your mirror self, that's where the blockbuster ritual, the how to identify your triggers mirror activity comes in. Like, I had to look myself in the face. Part of this healing work is looking at yourself and being truthful, talking to yourself and being open and honest. And like, you can't lie to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't put up the facade for yourself. Like, your highest self knows all. Creation knows all. So that's why I chose a mirror for that exercise, because identifying your trigger starts with not identifying you, but it starts with you. It's you who's triggered. So that's, we'll discuss that later. Do you read tarot or charm shells? They use the art of divination. So what's fascinating with that? Thank you for asking. I love when you read dialogue. Um, so as a Garifuna person, my mother's side of the family is from Belize, and we are in Belize. There are one of five tribes, one to five or seven, and the Garifuna people, the Arawak Indians, and the Caribs. They mated because of the island. People from St. Vincent and the people from Roatan, Honduras, got shipwrecked on St. Vincent and intermingled with the locals, and they formed us, the Garifuna people. The Garifuna people, since we're so close to African spirituality, as are many Central Americans and Latin Americans, they're very spiritual by nature. So I've always grown up around this. And I actually think I inherited my aunt's, who passed last year, gifts. But my grandmother would always say that we're mediums, we don't use tarot cards. So, and that's another thing I had to shake too. So she said that we're mediums, we're not tarot, we don't use tarot cards, like we just know, which I can kind of co-sign because I do consider myself claircognizant. Like I know things without knowing how or why I know them. But I don't necessarily, in a long story short, no, I don't use tools, but I have programmed this necklace to be a pendulum. So I do yes no questions with her, but tarot has interested me more. So I think I don't say I'm going to go against my grandmother, but I would like to explore that for myself. Like I don't know why we've never explored tarot as a culture, but I'd like to. So, yeah, long story short. Whew, it's getting hot. We gotta wrap this up. So, look, the numerology reading and all that ties in to, again, how you get what you ask for, and you gotta see the signs. So, here you go. When you ask for something, you have to be open to seeing the signs to that answer. So, it's just like, sending a text. Like you're gonna send, hey, da 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 da, and then just put your phone down and not wait for the like. No, you're waiting on the answer, right? So although the answer doesn't come direct to us, like they say, I mean, depending on your level, it can or cannot come like that. But for a lot of us and for a lot of people, signs and synchronicities help visuals, those patterns. So for me, I see things in patterns. I see visual patterns, I see color patterns, I see numerical patterns. So you have to understand the patterns that you understand, that you see, if that makes sense. True. I can totally connect to that analogy. Cool. I'm trying. Okay. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, huh? Okay. So now we're at the Nipsey Hussle Memorial. This week, even before, so yeah, that ties into it too. In between the NAACP Image Awards and Nipsey's passing, I was barely to, if not on social media. And then once he transitioned, I fully could not do social media because it was just too much. It was too much. I couldn't do it. Excuse me. For about 2 years, I was seeing 9/11. Excuse me. I was seeing 9/11 everywhere, and then it just stopped. From my understanding, 9/11 is like a kind of like a hey, like we're trying to like 9/11, like an emergency popping off. Like you need to watch your thoughts, watch your surroundings, like just kind of be like on like a caution type. Um, so that's like my personal experience with 9/11. I used to see it a lot when I was younger too. So I think, maybe that's probably one of the first, if not 111 or 1111, because I know those are popular too. But I think 9/11 might be like that first spiritual awakening, like, hey, because everybody recognizes it, but they don't know what to do with it. So I think it's like hey, but don't take my whole word for that. That sounds, we share that. But yeah, I really don't see it that often. So when I see it now, I'm just like, what? 1111 is supposed to be the spiritual awakening, right? And then 111 is it's the universe taking a snapshot of your mind. So I even tie that to 1111 because it's still a series of 11. So pretty much, we always need to be aware of our thoughts because it's always 1 o'clock somewhere. So you just have to be mindful. It's not too difficult once you really get it. Like, just always watch your thoughts, which means stay positive, think positive shit, and think of your most greatest and happiness life and carry it out. And yeah, so that was a bit off, but okay. So in not partaking in social media, the one thing that I did do on the day that he passed, because he passed on a Sunday. And I remember because it's kind of like one of those things where were you when such and such passed? I was at the bowling alley supporting my friend, and they were like, look at the TV. I look up. I was like, Nipsey Hussle shot. Dead. What? Like, it was one of those, like, you really couldn't believe it things. And that's when I hopped on Instagram. And it wasn't even I hopped on Instagram. Empress AK had posted something. And that's when I knew. Because, like, I follow and I try to surround myself with the best of the best. So I knew, like, she wasn't going to post no fugazi shit. And that's when I knew. I was like, oh my God. So the only thing that I did and what I felt compelled to do was put out a PSA because, like I said, I'm from South Central. This happened right in my neighborhood. Like, it's right there. So I felt so compelled to just give a word of comfort to the people. And that's what I did. Like, I put up a little Instagram video. Excuse me. I said, I know we're going through a lot right now, and it seems like we can't get a break, something along these lines, but please, please, please don't be emotional. Just respond with love. Like, just respond with love. Because it was starting to click how love is the highest vibration and how anything in the media done to make us emotional is on purpose. So, yes, I know, right? I'm going to tell you my shameful secret. I had no clue who Nipsey Hussle was until about a week ago. It's okay. To be real honest, a lot of people don't. Like, don't. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, it was just one of those things. But it's beautiful to see now that, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Energy never dies. It only, if anything, that motherfucker multiplies. Like, 1 billion Nipseys were rebirthed that day. Like, they didn't kill him, they immortalized that man. So before I go there, didn't partake in social media. I gave my PSA. I did it 2 days in a row. The day, like, within the hour, I had put up a message on Instagram. And then the next day, I put up a message on Snapchat, like another video on Snapchat. I think, I don't know when they had announced that they were going to be posting like tickets, but I was like, okay, we're going. So it was one of those, like, I don't know how we're going to get there, and I don't know how, like, but we're going. Because it's in the middle of the week, and the person I knew who could probably take me, like, wasn't going to be able to take me. So I was like, you got to take the train again, and like, your way now. So I was like, I'll be Gucci. So I was one of those people, one of those Angelinos who was up early. We set alarms trying to get those free tickets. They were sold out, or they had ran out because they were free. So they didn't sell out. They ran out. Excuse me. And yeah, that hurt. But Angelinos don't give a fuck. So we were just like, well, we're going to be in that bitch anyway. So even though I knew I couldn't get inside the venue anymore at this point, I was still determined to go and be in attendance because, again, this is home. This is like, I had to make it down there no matter what. Because just for some context, I live probably like an hour and a half away from LA right now. Like, I'm in the Inland Empire. So it's like seemingly far, but not. But yeah, I knew I was gonna be there. And again, in hindsight, I guess I'm still thinking is such and such gonna be there. Well, not if such and such was there. That yeah. So this week, so if for the NAACP Image Awards, that week I didn't have up an altar. This week, which is so funny, I literally found this yesterday, which is another sign. My Eye of Horus ring went missing. I couldn't find it. So that whole week I didn't have my ring. So in retrospect, what I kind of take from this is I was having like my spiritual tools, my physical spiritual tools taken away from me to see and enhance my non-physical spiritual tools, which is myself, which is my third eye, my ajna. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm getting from that too. But the ring was lost, so this means everything to me. This is my second one of this ring. I've had this ring since 2016. The first one got lost in Costa Rica and I had to rebuy it. And so I wear this every day. I wear it when I go out. This is my protector, one of my protectors. And I was devastated that week. Like I couldn't fucking find it. So I'm just like, all right, so here we go. So, and I think that's another lesson, stop trusting in, it's good to have spiritual tools, but don't trust so much in them, like still trust yourself. Sidebar. But yeah, so, damn, it's hot. Job. So, long story short, my friend was like, I'll go. So we drove there, but the night before, I did the same thing I did with the NAACP Image Awards. I had mapped out a game plan. So I looked up, I'm like, okay, so the thought process was get as close to the Staples Center as possible without getting within the mess, because we know the streets were going to be blocked off and all that stuff, right? So let's get as close as possible. So he's not from LA. My friend, he's from out here, so he was just like, well, how close is close? So I'm like, okay, well, this is there, and this. So I'm mapping. I'm like my inner LA girl comes in, and I'm like, all right, like I know where. I was like Felix the Cat, or we can stop at USC Village, or da 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 da. Like I'm naming all these spots. So literally that night, I'm like googling the distance between these places, and I'm like, okay, I think we should do this, and so I'm being tested on my planning skills, my intuition, right? All these things. Well, I don't know why you need signs to know how powerful you are. I can feel your energy through your candles. It's amazing. I cannot wait for you to discover your hidden powers. My ears are ringing right now. You saying it like that makes me feel like I don't know why the fuck either. And I think I had to go through all this to figure that out. Like, nigga, if you don't knock it off, sorry for the niggas. I'm just so a little West Coast with it. Yeah, like this was literally like a what are you tripping off of? Like that's literally what this all was. Let me try to wrap this up. Am I sweating? Can you see it? Ooh, I feel it though. Okay. So my friend agrees, mapping out all the stuff. So we had like a general game plan. We're en route. So when you get to LA, there's this like you can like when you're passing the Staples Center, there's like a little, because it's in downtown LA, so there's really like a bunch of buildings. But the Staples Center, there's like a little, you can kind of see it, and then like another series of buildings comes flying past on the freeway, right? Or not right, but I'm telling you. So as we're driving down there, we're listening to the Anabacoa because I'm telling you, like I listen to her all the time. So if you don't know, now you know. The miracle prayer works miracles. So we're driving, we're on the freeway, we pretty much hit the lot, we're in LA, and I knew that we were near. And so I looked to the right. and I saw that little entryway, or like the street where the Staples Center was on. Like I see the Staples Center in the street, and then like it was like the quickest glimpse. And this is the same glimpse I saw too at the NAACP Image Awards, the red carpet. We were upstairs, and I saw the red carpet of like the celebs and everybody coming in, but I was focused on trying to get in, right? So I think, well, that's another word. I'm so focused on trying to get in, I'm not observing why I'm still standing out. Like you gotta be standing outside the party for a fucking reason, right? West Side Royal Family. You already know. Hey girl, keep them sweaty armpits to yourself. All right. So funny. So okay, look. So here's another spiritual part, and you can even equate it to a sign. I mean, it's Gene. I just thought, all right. But like I said, we're driving down the freeway. I knew we were coming up on the Staples Center because, again, the game plan was to go a little past it and then just kind of walk. Look to the right, and I see the Staples Center. And when I say literally it hit me, I went like this. You know how Raven, when she gets a vision? I did that, and I almost cried, and I composed myself, and I was just, all I could say was, wow, I felt that. That was the first spiritual interaction of that event that I had. So I was just like, oh man. So, like I had my, like I was geared up. I had my protection, I got these crystals, I'm saying, in the brassiere. I got me a little mojo bag. I have my spiritual tools on me. Get to the parking lot, we pay, walk up. Literally, the energy, it was intense. Even just thinking about it now, like it kind of felt like a still day. It felt like somber. It just, you could feel like everyone was just like, fuck, like, what now? Like, just everyone was just at their wits' end, And again, me being removed from LA, like there's a lot that goes on with that, and like how I have some healing work to do. And so in feeling the people, like, again, you didn't need to be inside to feel. And even if the people who watch, like there's people who tuned in from, all over the world who still like felt it, but there was nothing like that feeling. I've never felt that shit in my life. But it was so beautiful though. My people came, they showed up and showed out. I'm telling you, I ain't never felt so safe though. All the Chris was there, the OGs, the little homies, art of all kind, decorated bandanas, t-shirts, like I had never seen LA in that kind of unity before, and I'm kind of getting emotional again. I had never seen anything like that. I had never felt anything like that. And all I could remember, like, it reminded me of the feeling I felt back in Washington when I was at 10/10/15, the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March with Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. That feeling, like seeing an ocean of people, like, it was just bananas. So that's just what I equated it to. I know exactly what you're talking about. Little known facts about me. I help spirits cross over. This is spoken like a true empath. You help spirits cross over. Ooh. JJ, I'm trying to figure out your hidden powers. You just keep dropping. You just be like, oh, by the way. Like, girl, well, shit, let's open up the institution. But yeah, empath all the way. Empath, indigo. I know I'm a light worker, but specifically a middle world worker. So that's where my challenge comes is my challenge in the, oh wow, I figured out my own life challenge. Balancing goddamn duality. Duality is my challenge here because I love the dark so much that baby, I didn't know the light existed. But now I love the light, but you got to keep that little bit of dark, but you just, instead of fighting it, just pull them together, just, yeah. So, yeah. Thank you for noticing that. Thank you for dropping that, you magical one. We got a lot to talk about, you. But again, I felt it all. And it was just so beautiful to be there. And, the airplane, what did the plane say? I'm playing this love vibration in the background and I kind of don't want it to stop. But I mean, it was just beautiful. I mean, the street vendors, man. Hey, look, I don't eat, I eat fish and seafood, but I don't eat meat, but them bacon wrapped hot dog. Y'all ever smelled them LA quarter street dogs? With the onions? Nigga, look. That just smelled fire. But no, they had the fruit and then the shave ice man was there. And so, it was just beautiful to see the people, all walks of life, like, but mostly people of color, because, the whites was like, crepes? Nah. We can let them have this one. We'll watch this on the television, honey. But it was just beautiful. Like, I felt that LA was on one accord that day. Like, people was decorating their cars. People had marathon. I mean, it was a beautiful, beautiful. It was a celebration, and that's what a transition is a celebration of life. That he didn't die. He just went to the next part. There's so many levels to this game of life. He all right. So in knowing he's all right, we got to be all right. Before there was light, there was darkness. Darkness is relevant to the light. Remember, yes, ma'am. Yes. And everything came from dark because where is he now? Back in the dark, pinging as light. He's traveling as light. Like, everything comes from the cosmos. What is the cosmos? What is melanin black? The essence of all. Y'all better get out of here. Come on now. Hallelujah, holla back. That's Trap Witch line. I'm sorry, but that resonated. Excuse me. But look. So I got to take that little peek, and I felt that. Once we got there, I was just in it with the people, so, those of us who didn't get in, we were sitting out there, but it's still a good time. Like, I stood the whole time, on the alert always, because you just have to stay vigilant. But I felt safe. It was so good to be back home, y'all. Like, it just felt so good. But that energy of that somber was definitely there. But ultimately, what I'm getting at with decoding synchronicities and signs is what that was a mirror of my old life, and a mirror of everything I thought I ever wanted. It was being shown right in front of me. It was being shown to my face. I kept asking, align me, align me, align me. So Spirit was like, all right, we're going to give this to you one last time. Is this what you really fucking want? Is this really what you want? And I had to sit there, like, it didn't click then. It clicked, I think this clicked like that night or the day after. But the mirror was held in front. I had just did the mirror activity, just blockbuster, just opened up everything. So Spirit was like, hey, here you are. Is this what you really want? Or are you going to give this up because we know that there's something better for you? When you let go and let God, your path expands because it was already expansive to begin with. We think, I'm going to be the CEO and I'm going to. He's like, nigga, you're about to be the. So, oof, getting hot. Amen. Preach. Thank you. I'm glad this is a word for somebody. But the mirror of my old life is being held up. And what's his, so What's hysterical is that it literally felt like a force field was in between me and the Staples Center. Because again, in realizing that this was a lost love complex, I'm looking through the Staples Center glass like, I'll probably see him coming down the escalator. Maybe he'll tap my shoulder here. So I'm literally like, I'm still, I was there for the event, but in hindsight, I was still looking for the person I thought that I still loved. And it's not that I still don't love them. You'll always love who you love. But there's certain loves that are not meant for you or not meant for you romantically or at all. But it's meant for you in a different way. And that love was meant for me, was meant like to be a teacher for me because this person came into my life when my father wasn't, you know. So it's just like, you know, the daddy issues complex. And so, you know, all that comes into play. But that love, it was a big love, but it wasn't the love. And I had to get that out of my head. And so it's hilarious how it literally did feel like a force field. Like, and that was a big ass protective force field. Like, it was literally like I couldn't do anything. And I couldn't do anything until the coast was clear. Wow, I didn't even notice that. I couldn't do anything. I could not move until the coast was clear. Because I guess that person is still toxic. I've healed, they probably haven't, or I don't know. But or I'm healing. I don't know where they are in their healing process. I wish them well always, but this is how I got to transmute this. So yeah, and standing there, like it was a force field. So here was the game plan. So we got there early and we were trying to get as close to the Staples Center as possible because they were going to they took the casket around. They did the one last victory lap. And so we wanted to walk. I thought we were walking with the casket, right? So that's why I was in front of the Staples Center. We were misinformed. 2 different officers had said that the procession was going to come down the street that we were standing on. So we were just like, oh, cool. Let's just stay here, you know? Going back and forth, trying to tune into the live stream, like to see where they're at, because it did start an hour late too, by the way. Let's get that out there. It started an hour late. We didn't know that, but it started an hour late. So pretty much the event was supposed to be from 10 to 12. It ended up being from like 11 to 2. So I was standing from 11 to 2:30 in heels like this. So it was Gucci though. But man, I took everything in, and there's still a lot to process, but that force field was there for a reason. Because let's say the person did tap me, or what I saw, you know, I think what I saw will happen. It just, this wasn't the time. But let's say the person did, you know, what was I supposed to, like, what the fuck was going to happen? Like, so now I'm like, okay, what was you going to do? Say hi? Or like, what would I have had to say? What, like, I'm just like, girl, what did you want? Like, so, so that's really hilarious. So I am being forced to see what I really want. Is that what I really wanted? So I had to look back at that relationship, if we want to label it that. And I had to ask myself, is that what you really wanted? And everything that you went through, is that what you really want again? And even if it wasn't an official relationship, I mean, shit, even that, like, do you want to be in an unofficial relationship with somebody again? Do you want those narcissistic tendencies and something like that? Damn it. You know what I'm saying? I had to analyze. I had to analyze. So, in decoding synchronicities and signs, there was a moment where my friend and I were like, should we cross the street? Because it kind of felt like the procession wasn't coming down our street. So we were like, well, maybe we should cross the street and then see what's going on that side. We never crossed the street. We never crossed the street again until I feel the coast was clear. Because this person was so heavily involved with the procession, Spirit had to let the coast be clear because, again, what did I really expect to go down? Like, I kind of still don't even really know. Like, I just wanted to gawk at, like, I don't even know. I don't know. But so in that contemplation of should we cross the street or not, we also both noticed a helicopter. So there was, obviously the news was reporting and all that, but there was a specific helicopter, and this was near the end of the event, that was just hovering over that side of the building. So again, I'm over. I'm like, so we were like here, and the helicopter was like hovering up over there, and we couldn't figure it out. And it wasn't until the end that we were like, damn, that's where the procession started. Like, so in trying to do the victory lap, we didn't get to do the victory lap or like see it start. Like, we were there, but not there type. Like, again, with the NAACP Image Awards, there, but not there type. So it felt like another failure. Like, fuck, like, I keep getting so close. And then it just gets snatched back, right? Girl, I'm in love with a narcissist too. I think narcissists are attracted to empaths. I have no clue why, but I've learned how to love him and deal with him. We love each other too much to let go. It's been going on 10 years now. Oh, girl, this has been going on since I was 12. And I'm going to just end it there. It's too much. It's too much. And a nigga's about to be 26 this year. It's too much. I got to let him go. So no, what's interesting is in a group that I was in last year, I remember we were talking about, twin flames and all that stuff, and they were like, I don't know how y'all know. And I was like, oh, you gonna know. Like, I remember saying specifically, like, I no longer felt like hurt by him. I just felt sad. And they thought that was interesting too. They're like, sad. I was like, I just feel sad for him. Because I'm gonna say after me, every relationship has failed, but kind of the point. So, and that's where I don't know how to label this individual, whether it was a twin flame or this or that. I just know that attraction was strong, and we were in sync for the most part. Again, there was a technical this world event that happened that kind of shook my thought up as to if he is that person or not. But whatever the label is, what we had did exist. I am grateful for it, but I let it go because I know there's something better. Way, 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 way better. Yeah, because even in my current recent ex, which sounds hysterical, but it's the same thing. Like, I keep falling in love with narcissists. And you're right, narcissists are attracted to empaths because they know our weaknesses. They know that we're emotional. They know exactly how to wire us to get, they're like, oh, piss off Laysha, rearrange this and put the black and the blue and the green. They know what to do. They're pros at this shit. So that was something else too. I had to, in reflecting upon our relationship, I had to reflect on the good and the bad. What was the good that he taught you? What was the bad that he taught you? Because even though there was seemingly bad, it's still good because now now you got that insight, So I now know the certain terms he would use to get what he wanted, or the certain, like, I'm more privy to that now, so I can't be played again. I wish a motherfucker would right now. What? No, been there, done that. So, and that's not to say that, I don't say your narcissist isn't for you, because I don't think anyone should be with a narcissist. But I don't know. I just think it takes some discernment and some reflection to depend on your unique situation, because they are all definitely that. I got you. You do what's best for you. That's what matters. Think he's my twin flame. We just love each other strongly. You're right. Yeah, we did love very strongly. Like I said, that it was damn near flawless. But there's just there's just too much that happened in between and during and after. Like, when I get to a point of sharing the story in its entirety, I believe it'll make sense. But as of now, I know I'm dropping little bits and pieces, so it's not really coming together. But it's way beyond we worked and we were in love and da da da. Like, we've had about 5 to 20 billion fallouts in between. Again, we run with the same circle, so like it's just this, he's fucking inescapable. So I have to now cope. So that's even where how to identify your triggers comes in. I have to now cope and understand and learn how to compose and handle myself when I see him, because it's even if even if he stayed blocked, he pops up on 10 other people's feeds I fucking know. 20, 30, 50, 100 other people. He's getting reposted, reblogged. So it's like, am I supposed to stay triggered every time I see him? Because every time I saw him pop up, I would be like, it did something. I wasn't this healed then. So in our whatever, we never ended on a right note. There's the closure aspect is non-existent. So I had to dig deep within myself and be like, look, nigga, you gonna keep getting mad and huff and puff every time you see him. You gonna keep, like all that extra shit. Like, it was just ridiculous. So I was just like, fuck it. Like, I I came to the conclusion of, okay, every time you see him, that means that you need to stay on top of your shit. Like, this person is here to help you work, right? So every time you feel like you're slacking off, he's gonna pop around to tell you that you need to get back on your shit. And that's exactly how that's how I chopped it up. So he helped me develop this course. Thanks. Take your time. I'm still going to be here listening to your Saturday story time. Thank you. I feel like I'm getting long-winded and I'm losing the point, but I think it's still tying together. But yeah, being there to pay respects to beloved Ermias Ashigdon was beautiful and it was needed. But there was also a life lesson that came with that event. And a mirror was shown, and I had to make, going back to my Lyft driver choice, I had to make a choice. We have to make choices. The fucked up part, or the beautifully fucked up part about this human experience, is free will. So it's like, yeah, we're here to do something, but it's so easy to be like, but what about? So we have to be parents to our own selves. That's something else I'm working on. That's part of my healing work. I've always had to be a parent to myself. My parents had me young. They were 18. So, it was kids having kids. They did the best that they could, that I'm starting to realize now. But I was pretty much always the more mature one. So I've kind of always been this way, but I have to keep being reminded. And I don't think I need this reminder anymore. I think I'm getting that now. Like, you have to parent yourself your whole life regardless, because depending on the type of parents you had, there's some things you need to unlearn and relearn. So whatever type of parent you had, and there's like categories like the negligent parents and the abusive and the blah, blah, blah. There's terms. But ultimately, you have to parent yourself. And that comes with making good decisions and having discernment. Like, if your parent, and this is, one of the examples that one of the women that I'm studying used was, if your child came to you and said, little Timmy hit me, or, one of their so-called friends did something bad to them at school, what's the first thing you're going to tell them? Aside from hit them back. They hit you first, hit them back. No. But, you tell them, hey, that's not your friend. Like, stop fucking with that person. So we have to do the same thing as adults and throughout our entire life. Like, if someone is really not treating us right, or is not upholding us in the highest regard, they gotta go. And you have to be a stern, be the stern mom or the stern dad about that shit to yourself. We have to parent our inner child, because my inner child, I think, led me right the fuck there. She was just like, we're gonna see. So my parent self had to be like, hey, that's cool and all, but you need to get your head on straight. So that's ultimately what that all kind of like, did. But yeah, just recalling the experience again, crazy beautiful. I never felt anything like it. Um, Before I get to that part, there's this there there's a there was a synchronicity. Here we go. Decoding synchronicities and signs. I wonder how many times I've said that now. I'm trying to keep with the theme, y'all. I'm trying to keep with the theme. This is why I don't talk, but I need to talk more so I can develop the skill. So, I in talking about the experience, as we were driving home, we decided to kind of pair, because again, you didn't need to be inside to feel what was there. Like, it was undeniable. It was real and it was there. But just to put that visual with with the feeling, we started the live stream from the beginning, and because it was about like 2 hours long. So, we did like the first hour and a half like en route in traffic, and then finished up when we got home on the DVR. But literally, like, it made sense. I was just like, oh, like, it literally made sense. Like, the highs and the lows, like, somebody could say something and I'm just like, that's when I felt that. And it just clicks. So knowing thyself, your intuition, that inner compass, it matters. And it's real. And that's going to allow you to see, now with only just your two eyes or your four, but with this one, we have to see with our third eye. And I think that's another gem. I'm seeing with my two eyes. So yeah, I think it's a good thing I didn't get to see them. So that wasn't a loss. But in rewatching, or I felt like we had rewatched it. Like, again, it didn't feel like we missed out on anything. But in watching it, the young boy, I can't remember his name, but he had spoke on how Nipsey came to him in his dreams, and they were in paradise, right? And then his mom came up and spoke about how he was too fast for this world. Like, and literally I was just like, he's in paradise. Like, he's he's limitless, Nipsey is limitless now. When you cross over, you're limitless, you're boundless. And so literally, as after we had just pulled up, and we had let his mother conclude her speech, hopped out the car, I look over to the left, and it literally looked like paradise. It was like the sun was setting. It was pinks and oranges and yellows. And it was just so gorgeous. And I said, look, to my friend, look, we can make paradise here, and we can still live in like, we create our paradise, right? The trifecta of this paradise theme was looking at my calendar in the room. It looks like there's a trifecta of paradise. And I think we have the wrong, as a people, we have the wrong idea of paradise, because especially as those still indoctrinated by religion, they think paradise is heaven, which is in the sky. And not to knock nobody, but that's false. But that was just unique to me as well. There was a trifecta of synchronicities of paradise, and what kind of spoke to me was, paradise is coming. You're creating your own paradise, and I don't know. I just wanted to, and sticking with the title, show that I saw that. But yeah, that was very, very highly, highly powerful. It definitely did drain me though. Like, I was spiritually suited and booted, but nothing could have really prepared me for that. So that night, I couldn't really sleep, and I just kept tossing and turning. In my head, I kept hearing, you can't say you can't say Ashikdom without saying Ashe. So that kind of gave me some comfort. Which is Nipsey Hussle's last name, his government last name. But I was tossing and turning. I woke up at 3:17 that morning, bawling, fucking crying. Like my heart was so heavy. And even on the drive home, I had it felt like I swallowed a rock, my nigga. Like that. I'm sorry. My chest hurt so bad on the way home. It hurt when I fell asleep. It hurt. My heart hurt so bad. And I cried for like 45 minutes. I didn't stop crying until like 3:52 or something like that. And then at that point, it was just like in spurts. But it was very intense. Like, it was very intense. So I took a salt bath yesterday. We're still regaining our energy, but it was crazy. Not Lucumí, Hussle. I think you should let the spirit lead you. Speak freely. Okay. It was intense. I took the salt bath, and even before that, let me rewind. This is the last two crazy points about the memorial. So, excuse me. So the day of the memorial, which is April 11th, 4/11, that had made the sixth or seventh year anniversary of my performing arts showcase. As my senior high school project, I put on a performing arts showcase as my senior project, and my so-called lost love was in attendance. So it was interesting that in talking about decoding synchronicities and signs, there was no coincidence that the day I thought I would see him was also the day of the anniversary of my show that he was at, was also the day, here's the third synchronicity, when I decided to cross the damn street, I ran into an old friend from high school who performed at that show for me, who went to the same college as me, who I thought I was going to dorm with. At first, we dormed our second year, and we fell out after I got her hired at my job, and her and some other friends I no longer speak with talk shit about me. So it was just, like, the test was real. Like, I hope I ace that bitch. Excuse me. So I pretty much ran into somebody I didn't fuck with anymore. But it wasn't like I don't fuck, like, I mean, if I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. But like, we see each other still on social media type, but I don't really have nothing to say to this person, but we kept it cordial. It was really civil. Like, I was actually very genuinely surprised that she was, because she called me like, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I thought I seen her. I was just like, peek. And then I was like, we're trying to find a procession. And then by her calling me, I was like, oh, okay, so that was that person. But again, like, it's so funny when tell me that's not funny. Those are secret. That's what I'm telling you. You got to stay abreast to these things. So, okay, so what happens? I cross the street. I finally decide to do something, and now I'm faced with another challenge, or I'm faced with a have you matured moment and what you gonna do type. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was probably foreshadowing me overcoming, anything I thought I couldn't handle. Like, you're gonna overcome this. Like, there's no problem, because you can sit. Like, I think what's gonna happen if the dream comes true the way I seen it, is I'll finally better be able to have, like, I'll have something to say. Like, I felt like in that moment, I probably still would have felt minimized, because that person did minimize me. This was the person who said that I shouldn't sing. Like, they knew I had a voice, but they had like bashed singers on the low. Like what is singer? Like, pretty much bashed entertainer. So I always thought, like, I killed my own singing dream, because I always knew I was supposed to be a singer. But I killed my own dream because I let someone else I let that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I let that get to me. But tying into Nipsey though, and going back to the statement, if they rebirth a billion million fucking more Nips, oh, I know what I'm here to do. Can't nobody fucking stop me now. Like, like that day, it just literally all clicked. But it starts with love. LA needs love. We need so much love, but we need healing. So there's a certain way I'm supposed to go about healing, and it's definitely through music. And it's not like my book of music that I have now that I've written when I was younger. Like it was cute stuff, like it's cute teeny boppy, but I'm here to say a whole lot more than that. I'm here to spread these messages in ways that people can really understand, such as Bob Marley, such as Nipsey Hussle. So A Star is Born, and in order for a new life to begin, an old life has to end. And that's another theme. I was faced with my old life, and I had to kill it in person. I had to kill it. I had to see it be killed. I had to see it. Since I'm so visual, I had to fucking see it. OMG, girl, drop a tune. Erica Bud, right? Mama Badu, Lauryn Hill, Sade. I mean, they delivered messages. You want me to? No. I'll sing later. I'll sing. What? I'm like, should I say? Okay. So on my personal page, because I think you just only have me on here. So my personal page is LaysiaPrincess on YouTube, and I have some music up there. So go check that out. I'm not gonna sing on this one. But thank you. But yeah, I had to make a choice. I had to make a decision because it's real easy to go back to your old life. I watched the video last night. It says it is more expensive to go back than it is to go forward. And you can flip that. It is cheaper to proceed to the root than it is to go fucking backwards. So I'm just like, so what you gonna do? So now I know what I'm gonna do. But getting into the salt bath. We took the salt bath yesterday, and that was beautiful. That was like 2 hours long, and so in kind of divinerness, I had asked a question, and I sought out the answer by looking into the fire because I love fire meditation. So this is after I had already kind of soaked and everything, and it was kind of getting hot. So I was like, let me sit up. So I sat up, and I was just like, I mean, because I don't really know if it was exactly is he my twin flame, but what I got was I saw one flame, and it flickered. It rose and moved to the side and came back, and then there was like a purple hue that encompassed it, right? To me, that said, first of all, you need to love you. No one can love you like you love you. And how you love yourself sets the tone for others to love you and treat you. So that was first. But second, the main image of that flame was because in my upbringing and in everything that I've been through and this lost love complex, I got hard. Like I lost femininity. I lost that sensualness, my sweetness. Like I became like hard as a rock. Like I was a dude. I just became a straight up dude. Like a boss bitch, but like a bossy bitch. But like the ones you don't want to fuck with. Like not on no Khalees type, but one of those like, oh, she thinks she all that in a bag of chips type. Which Shawty is. But look, the point is, I mean, I'm the home meal, I'm the factory. But look, wait. I'm so like, oh, dude, that's how I go to sleep with fire candlelight. It helps me because I love to astral project. Ooh, JJ, we gotta talk. I can't even imagine our video chat right now. Like, it's gonna be longer than a West Side Saturday story, because we're coming up on 2 hours. Thank you for being here. You a real one. But I love fire meditation. Like, I love candles. I love. Astral projection, though, you got to teach me something about that because so far we're on the lucid dreaming spectrum. So, but I kind of feel like I know we do. There's a lot that we do that we don't know that we do, but I feel like I've done astral projection because there's times like no, I do. I'm able to see myself when I'm taking a bath. I'm able to like look under the house. I can see like the dirt and the shit under the house. So I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. I'm claircognizant. Like, I know, but I don't be knowing. That's why you're like diviner, and I was like, diviner. So I just like I'm just now learning terms, if that makes sense. So this is really fascinating. Um, guess who the first person I met when I astral projected Papa Legba? Oh, you know what? Papa Legba comes to me a lot. He always tells me to put my hands out. So I try to. I'm trying to. I think I'm being taught to be more receptive because especially as a person who like gets taken advantage of, empaths, people they play you. So I feel like now he's like, no, you're not going to be played. Like you're about to receive, and that's literally what all this is kind of like pinging to is we about to come up on our success. It's about to fucking happen. I promise you. Next week, I just know next week. I couldn't even tell you why next week, but quote me on it. Next week is about to pop. Okay, just quote me. Quote me. But look, it told the flame told me to move over. After I love myself, I need to and stop trying to be the man in the relationship. Stop trying to be, so hard and so like, and once I let go of all of that, I need to move over to attract who's meant for me. Not who I want, but who's meant. Amen. Not who I want, but who God has meant for me. Amen. I was shaking so much, and he told me that I wasn't ready for him, that he would come when I'm ready. And about 3 months ago, he came to me in my dream and asked for a pocket watch and a handkerchief. And I asked Papa Legba, what did he want? He said nothing. He wanted to be my teacher. Oh my God. That's, wow. That's so beautiful. I'm like, did you get him? Did you get him what he wanted? That is so powerful. Oh my goodness. We gotta share stories like these. West Side Saturday sister stories. I don't know. Maybe that can be every other Saturday. Have a guest hop on and we just share our magicalness because that's wow. Has he came back since? I'm like, oh, 7%. Oh shit. I gotta charge the laptop. Hold on. Let me go get the charger. I didn't know we'd be in here that long. Okay, hold on. Yeah, hold on. That would not be cool if this died. Okay. Plugged in. We got 5%. I'm charging. But I just had a thought. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm being shown right now that I have a lot of healing to do when it comes to my past relationships. And I needed a physical, one last apparent visual to make that shit click because it clicked. And I knew that it clicked. I've realized within the past year and a half that I've had a lot to work on with my exes because most of them were narcissistic or detrimental in some way. So yeah, this one had to kind of drive the point home. I feel like I was trying to rush. Yes, I did, but I hope I'm not being selfish, but I don't know how to interact with him. I'm just being patient, but every day I wake up and I do speak to him after I pray to God. I hope that's enough. I had to research and learn who he was. I'm still trying to learn. He told me to worship my God, to not stop. He explained to me that he wasn't a God. Right. So there's certain so there's I mean, in Islam, there's no God but Allah. There's only one God. We all know that. One Jah, whoever you want to throw title, there's one. And we are a descendant of, right? Deities and gods, or excuse me, deities don't want to, they want to be recognized, but not worshiped as a god, if that makes sense. So you talking to him is wonderful. Have you ever have you been to a crossroads yet? There's, I know I learned this from Conjure Queen. Let me type that really quick. Conjure. He's a pretty pretty well known bruja and empath, and in the spiritualists and in our realm. But there's I don't know what to call it. I don't say it's like a ceremony, but that's a thing you can do on Mondays. Go to a crossroads, deliver full pennies. I mean, this is how to help your money too. But I just with Legba, I feel like anything dealing with I don't just sit at one and just kind of talk. I don't know. Like I feel like what's really cool about magic is like there's like some general rules and shit you can follow, but I always say that your intuition is your magic. So if you felt like you wanted to do something to honor him or like then do it. Like don't feel like there's rules because on a general level, like don't do things with malice, don't have ill intentions, da 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 da. But if it feels right, then I would definitely go about doing it. So if you feel compelled one morning to like write a letter to him or to whatever, I think calling upon him is really, really great. I don't know. Does he have a candle? I'm pretty sure he has a candle. I'm like, is that why I gotta reopen? Gotta buy some Papa Legba candles. No, I love her. I just recently started watching her about 3 months ago, actually. Yeah, I'll keep you posted on my journey. She's fantastic. She really, really helps. That's how I learned about Saint Expedite because I was in a jam, and that was the first time he came through for you, girl. I asked, and he was like, "Bet," and I was like, "Bet." So it was after learning about Saint Expedite that another video she posted about Papa Legba came up. So I personally don't know too much, but I would definitely say use your intuition. I'll work on getting you some candles. And just keep doing your research. I mean, that's what life is for. Like, just we have to be in love with learning. I think we get so caught up in learning is a daunting task, but if it's something you actually want to learn, like that should excite you and motivate you. So I'd probably hit up the library because I'm sure the library is free where you at. Sit in that motherfucker all day and just read a bunch of books. Like you don't even have to buy books. Like just start somewhere. Like you're starting. I'm not knocking, but you want to enhance your spiritual too. It's like the more you want to know, the more you need to seek out, and the more that'll come to you. So definitely keep me updated because I need to know. Well, I don't need to, but I would love to. I uploaded a candle I made out of your candle of Papa Legba to Etsy. Ooh, was it that first one actually? What I think I seen. If it was one of the first pictures you posted, I definitely saw that. Thank you. Or in general, I see them all. I see them. Yes. So I need to love myself more. Stop relying on man and rely on God and rely on self to trust that I will attract who is meant for me. It's supposed to be numbered at this point. I don't know what topic I'm on, but the seventh sign of the seventh story or pingness of decoding synchronicities and signs is today's horoscope. So I do this thing where every day I meditate. I do my daily smoke meditations. And in doing my meditation, I look at my horoscope. There's a trusted website I use, and I like it. And I've been doing this for like a year and a half now. So we go outside in the morning, we smoke, meditate, and I say, I tell the universe to please allow me to receive the messages I need. And then I go to my horoscope. I read the horoscope. I read the mood, success, and love, and all that stuff. I don't click on this particular website has like a tarot section too, so I don't click on the tarot card. I just click on like the general horoscope, and then like what's my mood gonna be like for the day, right? Like kind of just get a gauge. Today was interesting, and it tied into a recent and new project that I'm working on, and it just ties into the theme of the world. So today's horse, only you need to get you some cards, the power that you have, even if you don't know how to read them, you'll read them intuitively when you see the images, and then you won't have to rely on anybody else. I really want to I think I'm gonna get some cards. I would love some cards. It just fascinates me, like, because you're right. I just feel like with what I know, and especially since I'm visual, like I need that kind of like, and until I won't need it anymore. But I need some cards, and I know that there's so many different decks, like the love deck, the goddess deck, between Pretty Boss and Conjure Queen, they got some decks. Spirit will speak to you so clearly. That's the beauty of being an empath, honey. You could just touch something and you can hear it. You can feel it. You can sense it. Empaths unite. Yeah, it's a very strong sense. And it's something, I definitely knew. Well, I didn't know the title, but I knew that I've had these abilities forever. But we grow up, we get out into the world, we get corrupted and polluted, and then we forget. Or it gets put in some reservoir that takes hell and high water to access because we're so goddamn stubborn as humans. Really weird. Travis Baker, who the hell are you? And why is that even a question? Trust me, just stick with the simple tarot deck. Simple is always better because sometimes the overly artistic decks distract your intuition. That makes sense. I like that. I like that suggestion. I like that. So what's a simple is it literally called simple tarot deck? I don't know what a simple tarot deck would be. But yeah, look. Today's horoscope. So I'm reading and I'm finally, like I said, I'm discerning and I'm reflecting and I'm trying to just make sense of all the events that have happened up until this point. And I felt low key, like not defeated, but just kind of like I'm working, but I still don't like see it, right? Because in all of my horoscopes recently, it's like success is coming, rewards are on its way, you about to get blessed up, B. And so I'm just kind of looking like, where? I feel like a hyena looking through I'm just like, bitch, where? But I know I've been grinding, right? But so with all last week, my literally the horoscope was like, Ma, you popping, you about to receive some financial rewards. I thought I was gonna get not equate. Thursdays are money days. So on Thursday, I thought I was gonna receive a check from a past thing that I had worked for. And it didn't happen. And I let it go yesterday. I was just like, what's today? Yeah, today's Saturday. I let it go yesterday. I was like, I'm not even gonna check the mail. And then today, I read the horoscope and I wasn't going to check the mail because it said the same thing. Success is coming your way. You're going to receive rewards for past work done. Da, 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 da. So I was like, all right. Okay, okay. But I'm not usually the person who checks the mail. But today I was just like, we should go check the mail. So I go check the mail, thinking I have a check. And what's hilarious is I got something oddly so much better. Excuse me, Travis Baker. We're going to keep this pleasant and professional. Yeah, JJ, get him. Can I make you moderator? Bro, you have 2 accounts. Ain't nobody fucking with you. You're not saying anything relevant. So I'm sorry, not sorry. But you got to go. We're not even dealing with it. Do you have a real question? Do you have a question about decoding synchronicities and signs? A question about my memorial experience? Anything of substance? You have one good option or attempt before you're blocked to try to rectify this. So while you answer that or not, I'm going to finish what I got to say. And that is today's horoscope said that it said, yeah, let me just read it word for word. Because now we're at this point. Did I screenshot it? No. Okay, that's cool. Let me pull up what it said today and how this ties into the theme. Done, boo. Go handle that. I'm gonna let you handle that. Y'all don't want me moderating the chat. Ain't nobody gonna be in that bitch. Turn that hoe off. Get this message and go. Look. What's so funny? I've been dying to make you moderator, so this is perfect. Because you're like the most consistent person in the chat, so that literally makes sense. Wait, was it in the? Oh, wait, go back. Even keep your hopes high, bigger forces. Travis got quiet. Travis must be a troll. Can we call you Trolly Travis? Let me not antagonize. I'm sorry. All right. So look, today's horoscope read as follows. Do re mi. Do re mi. Kidding. It says, today you may find all your recent efforts rewarded, Capricorn. Your quick thinking and astute powers of observation have impressed others. Today, you're likely to be recognized in some way. Don't be surprised if you end up in the spotlight, blushing at the acclaim. This is likely to give your confidence a big boost and cause you to consider other ways to advance your career. So I read that. What stood out was that last part. Today, you were likely to be recognized in some way. Now, just like, so I'm thinking like somebody will give me a shout out. I'm gonna get a little, I don't know. Like, we really gotta stop thinking like what we think shit's gonna be, because it ain't ever. So that part, we're gonna stick with that part. Today you're likely to be recognized in some way, right? So I'm just like, part of me was like, bullshit. Other part was like, okay. So when I tell you that I did not expect this, it was the most beautiful, beautiful, random act of kindness and love that I think I've ever kind of received thus far. I don't know, but if you heard me mention in other videos, I'm a board member of an organization called No Stigma, No Barriers, and we break down stigmas and barriers surrounding mental health for the youth. I in particular bring a art and holistic approach to things, and so that's why my courses and my workshops are interactive and they're fun. But we deal with healing the inner child, the adult inner child, and reprogram the subconscious mind. That's what I focus on. It's reprogramming the subconscious mind. And so in doing all this work, it's very, very easy, especially as an empath, and especially as like the black sheep of your family. It's so easy to just be in gung ho mode and like to not even pause for yourself, but like you go so hard that like you feel like no one like sees you and no one recognizes you, you know? Wait. Oh my god. I gotta view this. You blocking now? Yeah, he get him out. Get him out. Thank you, babe. I just look up and see Travis Baker was timed out by JJ for 300 seconds. That shit made my day. I don't know who Cuz is, but inappropriate and disrespectful. Not on my watch and not on JJ's watch. Y'all better ask somebody. My nigga, how many accounts do you have? This is this is hysterical. Let me wrap this up so Mr. Baker can go make some more accounts. What the fuck is going on? I'm sorry, y'all. This is something I've like wanted. I wanted a poppin' live chat, and I guess I got it. But I don't know who bro is, and I'm gonna need him to calm it down. Oh my god. Look. I've been needing some love. I'm out here by myself. And often I feel like I don't be appreciated. And I don't know, egotistical stuff, but you know, being on my own for so long and just doing all that I do and not really having like, you know, whatever. Travis keeps coming back. I like that song. You a stupid how. 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 Yes. Stupid ass troll. Sorry. I got your back, bro. Don't worry about it. We're gonna keep it on an Ascension vibe up in here. Yes, ma'am. He can't block the groove. That's what I just wanted to play with him, but all right. That's a good song though. But look who's stupid. Stupid. Okay, I'm done. JJ's a real one. Long story short, I do this work with an organization, and in thinking I was going to get a check, I ended up getting this big ass envelope. I got a white envelope in the mail today, and it just had my name and address on it. It didn't have like a from, like a, yeah. And they be getting on me about that when I should, whatever. It didn't have a return address. And I'm just like, I don't know what this is. So I open it. I saged that shit first too. I was just like, sage. I make toothpaste. You might need to watch a video or two so you can brush your own, boo. All right, let's starve. Let's starve the trolls now. Let's starve them. We're just, yeah. I'm done. You're fucking up my story. We're just gonna remove you. Fuck a timeout. You timed all the way out. Cool, I think. Yeah, so you're hidden. No one's paying attention to you. Look, a theme that has been coming up recently is love. And not just love, but infinite love, unconditional love. And this coincides with the event that I got recently contracted for. But long story short, the check in the bag is and comes from happiness of living my most authentic life, serving my divine mission. Happiness comes from within. Joy comes from within. As women, we create with our womb, our pleasure center, and that is our wealth center also. And so if we're not happy, if we're not creating out of pleasure, and we're not enjoying pleasures, sexual or not, if we're not creating from a blissful place, that in which we create will be chaotic. And so, in feeling so down recently and feeling like I'm not loved, I received something today that just reminded me to never forget. Tying into synchronicities and decoding signs. I was reminded that love is everywhere. Love is in everyone. Love is in everything. Love is abundance. Abundance is love. Like, love is the key. And so I received this. So right away when I pulled it out, I saw big love. And I knew who it was from at that point, because there's only one person who says big love. And it's my liaison for the organization that I work for. And guess what her name is? Joy. Her name is Joy. Joy sent me, and I boo-hooed reading this. Like, it could not have came in a better time, right? Before I read this, I saw because there was two things in this big envelope. Where your bank account though? What the fuck? Like, bro, can't take a hint? You got 1,000 pages. I don't know why. I don't know why you on this one, but hey. Can you donate then, since you're being a fucking nuisance? Yeah, let me get you the cash out. Oh, I can't. Whatever. Anyway, I'm not messing with dude no more. Love was the key. So I saw this at first, and then I knew who it was from. And I was like, okay. Then I kept reaching in the envelope, and this fell out. So they know me. This is my favorite color. But within this, and these are just, so we do like cute things, for each other. Let's say we're having a conference or something, we'll have like an envelope on the door, and everyone kind of gives like kudos, if you will. So I guess they decided to mail these ones. I must have some stuff in my folder because it's up north, and I'm not up north right now. But the first one I saw was this. And it says, Malaysia, you are a queen. You radiate love and life. I know you will achieve great things. Zara. And Zara, she works with us as well. She helps Joy out and helps us to create any and everything we need. And that just touched me in ways unimaginable, because I really, 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 really needed a pick-me-up. And the timing of this, the synchronicity of all of this, that's what I'm getting at, was just undeniably perfect. So I got this, and I'm like, so then there was something else in this little envelope, and I thought it was just this. But I see this. You are magic. Not only just me, you, baby. You are magic. I needed a visual reminder that I'm magic. Even though I got a slogan that says stay magical always, I still needed I needed to be told that I was. And it didn't stop there. I flipped this, and there's a whole paragraph on the back. And this one is from Joy. And I'd love to read this to you, and we're going to wrap this up very, very soon. Excuse me. And it says, Malaysia, you have so much to teach the world. You are a strong, successful woman. You will continue to heal those around you, and you will change the way the world heals. I admire all of your talents. Big love, Joy. So, yeah, that, I mean, life is trying to tell us to not trip, slow down, just assess and then go, but don't be stuck. That reminds me of your message to all of your customers. Stay magical, right? Like, the synchronicity is crazy. Like this man right here. Oh yeah, boo. I said I wear wigs. Would you like to buy me a new one? Anywho, this is the entire. Okay. Thank you, JJ. In this world of, I'm trying to read it backwards, of big and small, there are all kinds of love. All kinds. All. You see this image? Now, there's actually an entire story, and this is where I booed damn hooed, okay? It literally felt like I was reading my autobiography. Like, I mean, we've been on here this long. Would you like me to read it? If not, I think it can be found on biglovebooks.com. It says text and illustrations by Ellen Lerner, Lerner. It is just so sweet, and I needed this so bad. And the last image on this says, just be. Just be. Stop thinking. Stop overthinking. Stop worrying. Stop wanting. Just be. And fly. Just like, who would have thought one day I look on Etsy to buy a candle? Who would have thought the beautiful person I would have met? Synchronicity. All I was looking for was just a candle. Oh, JJ. I can't cry no more. And I really mean, you're so sweet. Like, I'm not even sure I know what you look like, but I don't even give a shit. Like, you're so amazing. And in doing this work, I've encountered you. Like, like, we attract those that are like energy. So I'm just honored that you're on that same frequency and that you felt compelled to sync up with me and mine. And that is just so beautiful. I can't even thank you enough for that. Girl, you gotta explain yourself. I'm not even gonna read the description. Nope. I don't want an image of you. I just want to meet you and then just love on you. Nope. I'm not reading it. I want to hide the message. I'm gonna hide the message. How do you hide the message? I'm not gonna do it, but look. Not like that, but like I don't know. This is great. So long story short, decoding the synchronicities and signs is very, very important to put this crazy puzzle of life together to help you make sense of it, to help you better navigate, to help you teach others to navigate so that you can get the hell up out of here. And so in learning to decode, if you have some troubles, this is an amazing book I've recently picked up, JJ, that yes, you definitely need. And just stop thinking everything is random or a coincidence or just happens. Nothing in life just happens. Everything is for a reason. Everything is for a purpose. We just need to be astute enough to sit down and figure it all out and then proceed in the best of manners. Yes. So what I kind of was told from this was now is the perfect time for me to manifest, not only because of everything like saying all systems are a go, but my moon cycle is coming up. And as women, again, creating from our wealth centers, we are our most powerful and magical during our moon cycles because we're synced with the moon, the tides, that energy that we're 80% water. So we are going to feel it, and we feel it more, especially when we're menstruating. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm about to manifest everything I done came upon this motherfucker for, okay? And I implore you to do the same thing. Get out of your head, let it out, release. Healing can be fun, and that's definitely what I implore my workshops to be. And, healing isn't linear. If you don't resonate with one style, find another style, find another teacher, but find someone that you resonate with style-wise or learning-wise, so that way you can get this healing work and you can be your best self. Like, there are no excuses at this point. It's 2020. I wish a motherfucker would. I don't understand an excuse right now. I understand the feeling of being stuck. I understand feeling, but we gotta stop feeling and start knowing, get out of our emotions and into our intelligence and intellect. That's why it's so important to activate your third eye, to heal your chakras all the way. It's imperative and it's inevitable. Excuse me. So, this will be the first plug ever on, what are we in? April, May, June. On June 22nd and 23rd, I am not only the event coordinator, but I will be hosting 3 workshops at an event called Infinite Love Vibration Women's Healing Retreat. It will be in Los Angeles, and it is led by Goddess Demi Baldwin, Goddess Demi Baldwin, also known on Instagram as Love Light Fairy. So to wrap this all up, what is hilarious and what the biggest message is love trumps all. This particular individual came into my life literally right before all of this happened, before the Image Awards, before Nipsey. I think she came like a week and a half, 2 weeks before, because I was messaged. I reached out last year. She had posted something on Instagram saying she was going to host a retreat and that she wanted, people to kind of host different workshops. And I just reached out like, hey, like I'd love to help, whatever you need, like I got you type. And this was last year. I think this was like in November. So fast forward to April, first week of April, if not the last week of March. And this woman is coming to me talking about I'm putting on this love retreat. I want it to be in LA. I've seen it's going to be in LA and da 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 da. And at first I questioned, and we got to stop doing that. At first I questioned, why me? But now I get it. I have to be sent back to LA to heal LA. I have to heal them with love. I have to heal them with practical tools. I have to heal them with things that are going to help. Like, there are so many of it, and not even just LA, but people of color, people everywhere in general. People who have been through so much and don't know, I don't advocate traditional routes. That's why I say everything I do is unconventional. Healing isn't linear, and if you have a way in which you yourself have healed, it can potentially help someone else. what you say and what someone else may say, they may be the same message, but it might resonate with someone differently because of the way you say it. So just because you see someone quote unquote doing the same thing you're doing, that's bullshit. It's false. They can't do it like you. They don't have the same energy as you. That's not their voice. Whew. That's another message. My throat chakra. We're all here to say something. Use your voice. We need it now. I'm so going to do it, and then we can do like a book chat. Yeah. Get the book. True, beautiful message. OMG, is it going to be live on YouTube, or are you going to download the video to YouTube? I wish I could be there. You are a natural light with it. Yes, I wish you can see yourself the way I see you. You are a natural teacher. Oh my God. I still have a hard time taking compliments, so that was like huge, and I just can't even thank you enough. Thank you for seeing me. Like, I just always felt like the weirdo, and I'm just glad that the shit makes sense to someone. Like, honestly, that. Oh, let me answer the. Okay, so yes, we there is a tip. So there are tips here. Let me do this. Let me go get the link, and then I'm gonna let you decide. So we set up an Eventbrite link. So there's two options. Well, not like two options, but you can either be there in person, or there's an option to watch it live. We're going to stream it live on a platform where the link will be sent out the day of. I can't send it because it's so long. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna type in her, because I didn't post it yet because I'm designing the flyer, and I just wanted to post it with a visual. Like, fairy. Go to her Instagram and click the link. You'll see the Eventbrite event. Excuse me, and you'll be able to purchase a ticket for the live viewing. So the live viewing ticket is one day. So you'd have to like pick the day that you'd want to watch. A question I'm hearing is, what day will you be presenting? And I think both. We're actually going to construct the itinerary on Tuesday. So if you, my baby, want to hold off on buying your ticket, or even if you do, like if it's not that, like, if it don't matter like that, go ahead. But yeah, we're going to devise the itinerary Tuesday, so I'll know how it's going to be mapped out. But the live ticket, I mean, I guess you could buy one for each day, but there's not like an option on there to buy like a 2-day live pass, but there is an option, yes. Okay, cool. Yes, that was my next question. Yes, ma'am. So I'll be we'll devise that on Tuesday, and since it's 3 workshops, I would rather not do all 3 on one day, so I'm pretty sure it will be split up between, like, it's definitely going to be 1 and 2. I don't know if 1 will be the first day and the other 2 will be, I don't know how that'll work, but yes. And what are my classes? How to identify your triggers. I think I'm doing I think we're painting. I'm doing a live painting, and some other third thing. The folders with all the rest of the information is in there. So yes, healing is here. We need you now. Your higher self needs you now. But it starts with saying, okay, I know I ain't right. What do I need to do to get right? And just trusting the process, okay? You can get very far by trusting the process. I've just kind of really proven that. You can get hella really fucking far. So that was a word. But oh, okay. But yes, so it's called Infinite Love Vibration, right? Yeah, she just came on this whole infinite love tip. I didn't understand it until literally April 11th. And I even came up with an image for this event. So one of the goodie bag items is going to be a coloring page. I created a coloring page, and it's this really cute, I call it the Infinite Love Monarch. And pretty much like wrap this up We are coming into the new. 5D is here. 5G is coming. We need to be our best premium crystalline selves. So that way, not only can we bring in the new, but we can soar throughout the new as the phoenix that we are, rising out of these ashes. Because a lot of us has been through not only hell and back, we done been to the earth's core and then some, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of us have been through a lot. We've had our tower moments and we're coming out of the shadow period, but the joy, big love, it's all going to stem from the joy. So if you're not joyous now, you need to ask yourself, what will make me joyous? What is my true calling? What am I here to do? Ask yourself, what am I here to do? So that way you can live in alignment and you can live the life that you were meant to be, which is a happy one. We're not meant to suffer. So stop suffering, get off the wall of suffering, and fly, baby, fly. So I'm gonna just read these little side notes. So I had like reference points, which was all those stories. And then the main points was everything that kind of clicked after. So main points. Life is a series of tests. What the hell are you gonna do about it? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? It's either pass or fail. And if you're not sick of failing already, you need to figure out a way to pass. I said that one already. The check/the bag is and comes from happiness of living my most authentic life, serving my divine mission. I also wrote, you'll be aligned with like-energied beings. JJ, we're like-energied. We aligned. Like you said, you just look for candles, baby. And you got something so much better. I'm kidding. I mean, I did too. I picked up a friend. Yay, spirit friends. Okay. What else? Your soul family will find you. If the synchronicity, hello, hello, you just typed in synchro, ding, 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 ding. That's literally, synchronicity should feel like the fucking jackpot. When you hit that slot and you hear that ding, that's literally what synchronicity is. Getting 3 of the same images or multiple of like, okay, I'm seeing this everywhere. What does this mean now? That's if you've been seeing numbers, okay, ask yourself what it means. Look it up. You don't need to be a numerologist, but you need to be inquisitive enough. You need to be sick. We have to be active in our learning, which means seeking that in which we don't know. Okay. We can't keep being afraid of the unknown. That's why folks is afraid of death. Because if you was afraid of death, you would know. Well, you wouldn't know. But if you wasn't afraid of death, you would know that death don't exist and that there's only more life, but just not fleshly. Come on now. All right, I'm going to finish this. I'm random. Remember who you are and why you started. Let me say that one more again. Remember who you are and why you started. I almost forgot who I was and why I started. And I think that's why I had to be slapped up in the face like that in LA, in my home city like that. And that mirror had to be put up, but that protective force field was around me. It said, okay, look, you can keep faking or you can get real. You can't run from your past. You must face it. Sorry, the line had to cut into. You can't run from your past. You must face it. You can run all day. We can run. Everybody move. I mean, you can run all day, baby. You're going to get a little tired. You're going to get a little winded. Your limbs going to probably fall off. Okay, you need to slow down. I just want to get to know you. That's what your higher self want to do. I got no chapstick on now. All right. Yeah, your higher self just wants to know you. Death is a transition. Yes, ma'am. Hence why it's called transcending. Hello. Oh, someone's civil. Hello. Moving on. Never forget where you come from. That literally ties into remember who you are and why you started. Never forget where you come from. Discernment. Duality. Balance. Okay? Black and dark. Wow. Black and white. Light and dark. Yin and yang. Robin Vatu. I know you watched Avatar. If you ain't watched Avatar, you need to watch Avatar. Avatar got some gems, and I actually need to rewatch that for like the 5th time because gems. And now that I know that Toph's name actually means something, I mean, not like that, but like, oh, yeah. Last but not, oh, that's hilarious. You must face the light and the dark. You gotta face it. You gotta face it. You can't run from it. So you might as well just, y'all better get acquainted now. Pull the Spider-Man like, hey, light and dark is you. We all are. So fuck it. Just get a handle on it and move mostly in light. But yeah, this little last part right here says infinity, completion, everlasting, always, forever. To tie this up, the individual in which most of the story was about went by infinity. And so it's hysterical to me how that still came up with the goddess that I'm now working with, hence the retreat being called Infinite Love. Her logo is an infinity symbol. And what is infinity? It's forever, it's continuous, right? It's completion. I have to be complete within myself before I can find completion in someone else. Someone type that. I must find completion within myself before I can seek completion with someone else. So this wave of synchronicities and signs that I've just decoded pretty much is telling me I need to get together and I need to love me first. And love is infinite. There's no one way to love. But I need to love me first. You have to love you first. Stop outsourcing. Go within. Ashe. So, I hope you enjoyed the first ever West Side Saturday story time. I don't know if these will all be this long, but they just might. I like this. I feel like I released a lot. So, did you like this story? Did you get something from this story? Yeah, I know. I'm taunting. I must find completion within myself before I can find completion within somebody. She typed it. Hallelujah. Travis, it was habit, okay? I won't block you anymore. I thought you was about to say something crazy. All right. So, well, we got a little time on here. My story is over. So, if you're still lingering, I mean, the meat and potato, everything is done. Travis, who are you? What's up? What's up, pimp? How you doing, God? How you doing, King? What you here for? You have a question? I'm not a king. Ooh, well then you need to go look in the mirror. Well, that was that. Gave enough energy to it. I'm out. Thank you so much for tuning in. JJ, you the best. Like, you the bestest. Like, I love you so much. Thank you for being here. I think you made this a hell of a lot more interesting than it was going to be. But please use this energy. We are still under the Mercury retrograde, so reflect so you can propel, okay? All right. I'm a Paru. Crap. Anyway, later. Love you. Until next time, don't you ever, 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 ever forget to stay magical. Always. Una la Negra out.